Hi, and welcome here on YouTube. I'm so happy for all the positive response I have had on my fabric collages. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the nice comments you have given me. Thank you to all new and old subscribers. This gives me the encouragement to do more videos. By the way, my name is Lisbeth and I'm a Danish abstract mixed media artist, and I like to do all sorts of things, slow stitching, daily printing, mixed media, yeah, all kinds of things. So if you're interested in all these things, you have come to the right channel. But today, again, I will make a fabric collage of my friend's leftover fabrics, and I have this stack I have gotten from her, and I have made a playlist. I have made, I think it is, let me see here, 4 earlier ones, and I made a no, 5 it is. Yeah, I forgot the last one. Yeah, 5, and there's a playlist, and I will put a link below in the description box where you can find all the videos for these other collages. And in the first one, I also tell a little more about the fabric and my friend that had donated all this. She thinks it's scrap and small things, but I'm so happy I have received them and I can use them. And today I have taken out the turquoise bluish ones I have found in her pile. So I have all these here of hers. And then I have been in my own stash and found other things I perhaps can use here. I don't know about this one. It is very, but I'll see. And then I have some different threads, and then again I have some small wool balls and some it is wool. I bought it when I was on holiday on Gotland a couple of weeks ago, and I have this piece of Tyvek, and I will also put a link below in the description box how I make these Tyvek pieces. I don't know how much of these things I will use or what will end up in my collage, but we will see. And also, yeah, the substrate here is felt, heavy felt, and I really like to use that as a substrate because it is easy to sew in, and you can handle it, and your fabric lies nicely on them. And yeah, I just like to use it. And it is probably something it has never been close to a sheep, this piece here, but I don't mind that. But I will start to see if I can make a base layer or a composition with my fabrics I like. And that's the way I always start. Often I just place my fabrics and don't cut anything off yet if they are bigger. But in this case, I know I don't want this dark piece down here, so I know I will only use this if I'm going to use it. So fingers in your ears. Yeah, I like that sound. I like tearing fabric and paper. Yeah, I think if you're a little angry, you can get some of your frustration out by tearing paper and cloth. So yeah, that could be an option there. And I also have this here. Now I will just start laying them down and see what I can come up with. I also really like this piece and this piece here. Yeah. I know if I'm going to use this piece, I ain't going to use a piece that isn't a square or a rectangle, and that doesn't mean you can do that, because you can. You can do whatever you fancy laying your fabrics down. But I don't know if it is because when I was working, I was an accountant, and there 2 and 2 is 4, and 2 red lines under, and my brain is very, even though I work abstract, but I don't think I like a line like this. But of course I can try to let it be there and see what happens. But since I want most of the turquoise, I think I will turn this around. So this is a main look, you can see. So yeah, what else? What do I have? I have also this piece here. It is very bright. Let it go all the way down here, perhaps like this. This is a different tone that could perhaps work. Now I am cutting because I perhaps think I like this. Like this. Oh, I can see I need to iron this. If I will use it. I also have this piece here. I think it's nice. And this really brightens it up, you can say. And I don't know if I like that. But yeah. I need to have something under there. And perhaps this is a good thing to put this there, but what can I put under there? I have this piece here. Perhaps this will work with this piece of this. And that is just a board fabric. So away with that. and then I can fray the edges from this on this fabric. And I think I like this, and perhaps just a piece of it, not such a big piece. This could go this way perhaps, or down this way. Yeah, there are many options, but I think I like this look here, and I like it for some different reasons. The texture of this fabric is different from this, and again, this is a heavy textured fabric, so I like this. And these are different sizes here. Also, these are different sizes. And now is the $1,000 question. Do I like this area down here where there's a kind of triangle? And I'm not doing any triangle in my embroidery on this one, so I think I will cut it off here. Then I will have to do this. Like this. And then I will cut it off. I think this would be the way. And I think I would cut this one off. Whoops. Whoops, whoops. Something like this here. Yeah, I think this looks nice, this layout here. So I will just nurse and manicure the pieces a little, and then I will show you how I baste them down. So the way I do it is I take a glue stick, and it isn't for gluing the pieces down. It is just to hold the fabric down until I have basted down with stitching. And I know this piece is going to be there, so I will just give it a dab there, like this, and then I know this piece is going to be there. So again, just a dab there. And I try to go a little over the edges so I can, there's something I can cut off, and if I'm stitching and it is crawling a little in, I will know there's no white edges here when I'm done. And then there are these two pieces, and I think I like the frayed edges there, and just a small bit of this, and I can see I should have ironed it, but yeah, I'm not so good at using, I can use an iron, that's not that, but I don't like doing it very much. So I'm not the one who's ironing my husband's shirts, he is doing that himself. But yeah. But since we have become pensioners or retired, it isn't much shirts he is wearing these days. So that was when we were working. So yeah, this one, and then I have this piece here who is going to be there. So I will just give that a dab. the next piece. And the last piece here. This is a little, it is fraying very easily. So I think this looks nice, and yeah. Again, different sizes, different widths, and different textures on the fabric. That gives nice collages, in my humble opinion. So I will see if I can find this machine sewing thread in colors matching this. So I will be back. Since there is so big contrast between these two, I don't think I will use the same thread. So I will use this color all the way around here and a black color down here. So I will just, I think I will cut a little of these off. So out with them. They are too small to save, I think. But let me turn it around. So I have made a knot at the end, and I don't mind knots here. At when I am embroidering on or stitching on felt, because the knot will disappear into the, oh yeah, will disappear into the felt. There it is. And then I just come up and do the tiniest, smallest little stitch I can do, and just over a couple of threads, and you can go forward or backward. That doesn't matter very much. I do a little of both. I think it's where my needle, I have glue on here, where my needle hits the fabric. So yeah, you can hardly see it here. But these are the smallest dots. And I don't pull hard in the thread, because if I pull very hard, it is like the fabric is sinking more down in the felt, and then it looks like a little valley or something, you can say. So the only thing to take care of is that your fabrics lies as flat as possible, and they don't not bubbling up, but they lie flat and not there's too much fabric, so it will curve. Or yeah, I don't know the English word for this, but I think you know what I mean. So I will just continue and sew all the way around and be back. So here, down to the last stitch, And you can see I go so close I can to the edge of the felt, and I will just put my needle in the felt and secure the thread that way. And yeah, I can see there's a little something up there, but I think I will just cut this off because it is easier to see where you will place your other bits and bobs if you have a square and not a piece where there's much more fabric over here than there. And this is, I think this is quite as it is squarish. Yeah, so there are a lot of places here I can baste down to, but since I don't know what else I will do, I will take that as it comes or do it as the last thing, so there isn't any fabric sitting and flapping around. But I think this is a nice composition and I like it. So now I have to decide what I will do with this piece, or if I will use these pieces or this piece. And I think it's too much both with these curl sheep locks here and this. So I think I will try to cut them in half, these small, it is felt balls, and I have bought them in a hobby crafts shop somewhere. And they're quite easy to cut up. Yeah, and again, 3 is better than 2. So I think they look nice there. So yeah. Perhaps this is too big a piece. Perhaps it is better only to use a smaller piece of it. I know I talked about putting it like this, and I think that is too much. I want, all these are going that way. Oh, no, they are going that way. So I think it is nice to break it up by putting it there. I also have this piece of, oh, what is it called in English? There's something with tulle. Yeah, I can't quite remember. Yeah, perhaps I can put it under. Perhaps that would look nice. I think this part here is also always so, yeah, it is so interesting what you will end up with. I think I will think a little, and then I will be back and tell you what I have decided to do. So I have cut a piece of this off, and also of the twill, yeah, I don't know what it's called. And then I will just, I have taken my ordinary machine sewing thread, and this is just to secure it or baste it down. And it is very easy to stitch in the holes. So then I will decide what else to do. with it. So come up in a hole or down in the felt and up in a hole and down. And you can also find places in the Tyvek you can stitch into. And I can't remember if I said, but I will put a link below in the description box for a video showing you how to do this Tyvek or manipulate it. So I will baste this down and be back. Yeah, and you can see I have given these small half wool balls that glue of a little glue, and they are sitting there now, but I will also stitch them down. This is basted down now and isn't running anywhere. And I also baste this piece down here because I know I won't be stitching there. But I think I will make one of my rows of railway tracks down here. And nothing there but invisible baste that down. That's so far I have thought until now. So I have here I have taken this color here because, oh yeah, where is it? Here. I think I want to see it because I don't think you will see these two colors here very much. So I have taken the strongest color here, and again I made a knot, and I will just come up and go down, and I will make them quite big, I think. And then I can come up here and go down. And that is it's just straight stitches lying down instead of standing up and doing them in a column. And I think it's the easiest stitch you can make here on these collages, but I really like to use that stitch in places where I have to knead the fabric based down. So you can see it here like this, but I will do it all the way down here and be back. So sewn all the way down there, and I went all the way over there, and this is based down, this is based down, and this is based down. So now everything, this is not, let's see what I could do with that. But now I want to sew these 3 small half wool balls down. So I had taken this dark thread here so I can see it here, because the other 3 colors I had, I think they disappear in they are too much the same. So I'll just mix cross. Oops. Come up here like this and go down here, and that was the first cross like this, and then I will turn it a little and make another cross like this, and come up here in the middle between these 2 and down here. That couldn't be easier. And then you have a small star. Where am I in frame? Yes, I am. I will do the same on the two others. Making these stars here got me thinking that maybe it would be nice to sew some star stitches up here. And I think it looks nice, and I like that they are a dark blue, so they are contrast, because I think these, yeah, I think they would not disappear but not be so visible. So I will make a little bunch of them up here, and perhaps, yeah, I don't know yet, but I can show you how I do them, and it is not very difficult. You come, yeah, I can say the only thing about sewing on this felt here is, if you are one of those embroider women who goes down and up in the same movement, that is nearly impossible to do in this felt here. So the stitches will look the same, but you have to go down, come up, and then go down and come up. Perhaps this will take a little longer doing it like this, but who cares? We ain't sewing on time, so it will take the time it takes to do it. So again, I just make a cross. If I could hold my needle. And that is the first cross, and then you go and do it opposite. And I don't mind, they are a little wonky. Like this. Oops, no knots please. Like this. But I will continue and see how they will be sitting there on the fabric. So here they are, small star stitches all the way down there, and they get smaller and smaller. And I think this also needs some contrast here. So I have taken some bling bling yarn from my knitting days and taken a big darning needle with a pointy needle. It has to be pointy, else you can't stitch through the felt. And I could thread it, and if you pull in here, you will make this thing here, and I'm not interested in that, so I'll just cut it off. But it is just coming up in one of the holes here in the Tyvek, and I will hold it like this and turn it around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and go down somewhere in the same hole in the Tyvek and just pull this through, and then you have a fine knot. And I will come up here if I can. Yeah, there. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and go down nearly in the same place, but in the hole in the Tyvek, and drag the thread through. And they are yummy, those knots here. I think they suit the Tyvek very well. 4, 5, 6. And you can do as many or as little of them as you like. And I also have these 2 threads. Perhaps I can give it some of this also. I think this blue doesn't work, but I can see here. Now I will just make some more of the black ones here and show it to you. So done with a lot of black French nuts and some turquoise ones too. So I will just make the last one here. Go down here. And I think that will be enough. It is a quite heavy thread to stitch with. So like this, and then I will cut the edges clean. That's the last thing I do. I think. You never know. You are not done until you're done. You are always entitled to do more, even though you have said you are done. It's your piece. You can do what you want. By the way, my what is it called? Brother-in-law, my hubby's brother, had a round birthday party in his garden here this Saturday, and I have got so many mosquito bites, so I'm getting a little crazy and I'm scratching all over, and the more I think of it, the more it scratches everywhere. So, but it's the time of the year here in Denmark where there are mosquitoes everywhere. And there are two things I do. I like all kinds of animals, and I like snakes, and I like frogs and chickens, and I have no animals I don't like except two things, and that is mosquitoes. And then I don't know if it is a problem in other countries, but us garden people, we are getting invaded by a snail we call killer snails here in Denmark, and they are everywhere, and they are eating our vegetables in the garden. They are eating the flowers, they are eating the leaves, and they are so disgusting. And these two animals I don't like, but else I like all other kinds of animals. Yeah, no, that was another story. But I think it's done, and I am quite satisfied with it. I think it works quite well. You could have done many other things, but it ended up like this. So if you have been inspired, if you have learned some tips and tricks and seen something you like, please give my videos a thumbs up. And please consider subscribing my little Danish channel. That would be very helpful, and I would appreciate it a lot. And I think I said this would be the last one I make in this series, but I still have so many fabrics here from my friend. So I don't know, perhaps I will take a little break from it and wait a couple of weeks. I don't know yet what I will end up with, but I like this way of working, and it is building a collage up, and it is not much different from doing it in paper. You just stitch the pieces down instead of gluing them down. So yeah, now enough of me talking. Take care, be creative. Until next time, bye bye for now. Sorry, I got so warmed up talking about these two animals there I don't like, so I forgot to tell you about how I mount these pieces. And of course you can buy a frame with glass and all things just to put it in if you find the right size, but glass and textiles are not a good combo in my humble opinion. I don't like to have glass on my textile pieces, but I mount them on stretch canvas like this, or you could also use a cradle board, And then I use some heavy gel and put glue on there, and put the gel on there, and then I just glue this piece down and put some heavy things over it. You can't, because of these, you can't turn it this way and put a book on it, but not a runny glue, because you can, the risk is it seeps up through the felt and make damage to your fabric, and that isn't so nice. But something like this, and I like it a lot, because when you hang it on the wall, it is a couple of centimeters out of the wall, and I think that looks very nice. So bye bye again.